what's up, guys? I was just reading in Acts chapter 16, a familiar passage, and I think one I've probably shared before, but I was just reading in a different part today, in verse 6, and this is Paul and Silas are traveling, and they're being led by the Holy Spirit to preach and to share the gospel in different places. But what I just found interesting today, what spoke to me was verse 6, 7, and 8. And 9 actually, and verse 6 says, "Now when they had gone through Phrygia and the region of Galatia, they were forbidden by the Holy Spirit to preach the word in Asia." And verse 7, "After they had come to Mysia, they tried to go into Bithynia, but the Spirit did not permit them." And verse 8, "So passing by Mysia, they came down to Troas, and a vision appeared to Paul in the night. A man of Macedonia stood and pleaded with him, saying, 'Come over to Macedonia and help us.'" And this just spoke because I just feel like there's a lot of us that have watched doors close, or seen different things that we planned on, or different opportunities or experiences that we had intended to to walk out or to walk in, close. And I just wonder, if it's being closed for a reason. If there's certain things in your life or my life, that are being closed by purpose and not by failure or by lack of performance, but by purpose. And that's just kind of what spoke to me now, is because it says they were forbidden by the Holy Spirit to preach the word in Asia. And then they wanted to go into Bithynia, but the Spirit did not permit them again. And because they couldn't go to those first two places, because Paul was refused in the places that he wanted to go first, he went past Mysia and they came down to Troas. And I'm just thinking, he's like, he could be confused or unsure or wondering why this is happening, wondering why his plans aren't panning out the way that he wanted them to. But it's interesting that the doors that he wanted to open are the doors that the Holy Spirit specifically closed. And because those doors were closed, he came down to Troas. And that speaks to me, just coming down, to a place where you're like, man, this isn't maybe where I plan to be, right? Like, this isn't my the emotional place I plan to be, the mental place I plan to be. This isn't the place I plan to be in my career or my finances or, anything in my relationships with family, friends, anything. Like this, maybe this isn't where I plan to be, right? But the interesting part is that he came down to Troas. And then in verse 9 it says, "And a vision appeared to Paul in the night." If he wasn't in Troas, he wouldn't have received that vision. If Paul didn't have to look at and pass by closed doors in order to come down to the place where God intended for him to be. If he hadn't come down to Troas, a place that he didn't expect to be, a place that he didn't plan to be, a place that he didn't anticipate being in, if he hadn't come down to this very place, he would not have received that vision. And I just wonder, how many of us right now are in a place where we think that there's no purpose for why these doors are closed, or we just wonder why we're where we are. But I just want to encourage us that, that vision is coming. That vision is coming, that favor is coming. And because you followed the leading of the Holy Spirit, because you obeyed those doors being closed and came down to Troas, a place that you didn't expect to be or anticipate to be, because you're here right now, that vision is coming. And I just wanted to encourage you with that, because once he receives the vision, then he knows where to go. And because Paul had to come down to Troas, he received that vision. And because he received that vision, he received the direction that he was looking for. So I just want to share that word. That really spoke to me today. So I just want to share that with you guys. But have a blessed rest of your week, guys. Thank you.